you wake up in shock. The plane you were on just crashed in the middle of the ocean, and by a miracle, you are the only survivor. The ringing in your ears won't let you think straight. The Boeing 737 that was supposed to take you home is now just a metal graveyard scattered across the beach. Around you, a deserted island, airplane pieces scattered across the sand, and the sun about to set. You feel a sharp pain in your ankle. It's not broken, but sprained. You don't have any serious wounds, but you have small cuts on your legs. Still, you need to act fast. Night is coming, no water, no fire. You're soaked, wearing heavy clothes, and the sun is already low on the horizon. Your first decision will determine whether you'll see the dawn. Around you are scattered debris, closed suitcases, fabrics, metals, pieces that could become tools or traps. The sun disappears in just over 2 hours. Behind you, a green wall, tropical forest, bird sounds, and mystery. Water, maybe. Predators, certainly. In the dark, even a route can be a death sentence. What do you do first? Option I. Go back to the sea to rescue materials. Option B. Stay on the beach and build shelter with the debris. Option C. Enter the forest in search of water and food. Choose now. Think like a survival expert. What is the number one priority in the next 3 hours? You decide to go back to the water in search of floating materials. At first glance, it seems logical. More supplies, more chances of survival. But the sea doesn't forgive. The water is about 18 degrees Celsius, 64 degrees Fahrenheit. It seems bearable for a few minutes, but inside it, the body loses heat 25 times faster than in air. With heavy clothes, an injured ankle, and light waves hitting your chest, every movement costs vital energy. In the first 10 minutes, the shivering begins. The body still fights, but motor coordination starts to fail. Grabbing a floating suitcase becomes a desperate effort. Even swimming back becomes risky. Result: you manage to bring some objects, but return exhausted, frozen, with difficulty even holding a buckle or tying a simple knot. When night comes, hypothermia has already set in. Your muscles don't respond, your mind becomes slow, and any attempt to build shelter is almost impossible. Status: serious risk of hypothermia before midnight. You choose to move away from the beach in search of fresh water or food. The forest is dense, the terrain irregular, and the sprained ankle makes every step costly. In an hour of walking, you find a small stream. But without tools or fire, there's no way to purify the water. Drinking directly could mean parasites, fever, and diarrhea in the coming days, worse than thirst. Meanwhile, the sun sets quickly. In the darkness of the forest, it's almost impossible to return. Without reference points, you get lost. The sound of insects and nocturnal animals increases the feeling of vulnerability. Without shelter, without heat, without a clearing for fire, the night becomes a trap. Result: you spend the following hours on the damp ground, wet, vulnerable, and with falling temperature. The ankle pain increases, the cuts on your legs become inflamed, and every minute seems like an endurance test. Status: mild hypothermia plus lost plus risk of infection. Smart decision. You make use of what the crash left behind. Backpacks and carry-on bags are made, mostly of nylon, polyester, or synthetic leather. These materials aren't completely waterproof, but they resist moisture well. If the luggage floated for only a short time before reaching the beach, there's a good chance of finding dry clothes inside, especially those stored in plastic bags, rolled in layers, or in the middle of the suitcase. The airplane debris is also a valuable resource. You build a shelter with pieces of fuselage and seats, insulating foam against the wind, suitcases as a dry base, fabrics as cover. You change out of wet clothes as soon as you find something usable. Your body thanks you. Every dry minute is another minute of preserved energy. With dry clothes, branches, and even parts of the upholstery, you manage to immobilize your ankle and reduce the damage. Making fire in this situation is difficult, but not impossible. If you're lucky, you might find dry fabrics inside suitcases to use as tinder, batteries from electronics, phones, power banks, or laptops that, when short-circuited, can generate sparks. In contact with wool, dry cotton, inside the suitcase, at the core, or even safety instruction paper, it's possible to generate sparks and start an ember. With this, even inner branches from drier logs can sustain the flame. Additionally, staying close to the debris greatly increases your chances of rescue, as search teams first look for the accident area. Result: warmed body, conserved energy, hope maintained, at least until tomorrow. In survival, every decision is a balance between instinct and knowledge. Instinct might push you back to the sea or into the dark jungle. But science shows that the priority is different. There's a simple rule, the rule of 3. 3 minutes without oxygen. 3 hours without adequate shelter in hostile climate. 3 days without water. 3 weeks without food. Today, the invisible enemy wasn't hunger or thirst. It was the silent cold, stealing heat from your body through wet clothes. Hypothermia doesn't warn you. It starts with a light shiver and ends when your mind can no longer make decisions. By using the debris, you gained more than shelter. You gained time. Time to breathe, time to think, time to plan the next steps. Surviving isn't about being the strongest, but the most conscious. And on the first night, consciousness was the difference between living or becoming just another missing person in the wreckage of an airplane accident. But surviving one night is just the beginning. When the sun rises, the cold will give way to another enemy, thirst. Without potable water, your body will begin to fail in less than 72 hours. And then comes the new decision. Do you risk entering the forest in search of a river? Build a rainwater collector? Or try to distill salt water from the beach itself? Comment below. Did you get it right on the first try or fall for the exploration trap? And what would be your second move on day 2? Subscribe and hit the notification bell. Your survival continues in the next scenario.